What's up, guys? I'm Chad Barnes, and welcome to the channel. Here, it's all about real car talk, from simple fixes to smart driving tips and keeping your ride in top shape. If that sounds good to you, go ahead and give the video a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button and make sure you watch all the way through. There's a lot of good stuff coming. Let's get to it.
The problem of limited visibility in the side rearview mirrors has always existed. For a long time, it was fought exclusively by optical methods, increasing the overall sphericity of the mirrors or installing convex segments on them. Such tactics helped only partially, bearing at the same time and inconvenience in the form of distorted perception. But in the 2000s, the first electronic aids began to appear. Almost a pioneer in the mid-2000s was Volvo with its BLIS system, which was a miniature camera in the mirrors, whose field of view coincided with the blind spots. When traffic appeared in the cameras, the driver saw flashing indicators on the corresponding side, warning of the danger of realignment. The disadvantage of this approach was the rapid contamination of the cameras in inclement weather. A little later, Bosch brought to the market a similar technology based on ultrasonic sonars in the corners of the rear bumper, actually made on the principle of the well-known parking sensors. It was used by Citroën and, it seems, someone else, but it quickly became clear that the maximum efficiency and reliability can give only radar radio wave sensors, working, like all radars, on the Doppler effect. The only difficulty was the certification of these systems in different countries due to the occupation of certain high-frequency areas. Sometimes manufacturers had to remove this option from the equipment in certain regions or transfer it to other frequencies. By the end of the 2000s, optical and ultrasonic systems had virtually faded into the shadows, and radar-based blind spot monitoring systems were available from all automakers. However, this option continued to be a sign of a very expensive segment and was absent in the middle and affordable class. Some small manufacturers of auto gadgets began, however, to produce advanced sets of universal parktronic, which had special additional sensors installed in the corners of the bumpers and working in motion, as well as separate indicators for them, notifying about the detection of interference in the area of the rear wings, invisible in the mirrors. However, they could not boast of special stability of work and did not gain popularity. Nevertheless, in the last 5 years, radar systems of DMZ, blind spot sensors, have massively penetrated into the middle price segment. For example, Kia has this system available starting with the Ceed, Volkswagen, with the Jetta and so on, Toyota, with the Corolla and so on. For the same Rio, Polo, Logan, and other popular sedans, hatchbacks and mini crossovers, these options are not available. The Chinese set of sensors can be put on any car, which is what we did. These systems differ in cost and equipment, while the basic elements and characteristics are the same for all of them. The differences lie, for example, in the method of indication. In the simplest version, bulbs are glued on double-sided tape inside the cabin on the windshield pillars, and in the more advanced version, replacement mirror elements are offered with integrated light indicators in the exterior mirrors, which must be replaced by standard ones. In even more expensive versions, the DMZ radar kit comes with 2 side mirrors fully assembled, for a specific car. Some kits are connected only to the turn signal lamps, and some, even to the CAN bus. Personalized kits, designed for a specific car model of a specific generation, are significantly more expensive. However, is there any sense to change original and obviously high-quality mirrors for a cloneless Chinese clone? It seems to us that the optimal solution here is still the most budget version of the DMZ system. Ours cost relatively modest 6,000 rubles. We do not give its name, because there is no point in it. You will not find any famous brands, and it is best to be guided by the number of orders and Russian language reviews in the online store. Any DMZ kit comes with 2 radar sensors, usually operating in the 24 GHz band. The sensors have U-shaped mounting brackets, squares of double-sided tape, and a handful of self-tapping screws to secure them to the body under the rear bumper. To the U-shaped plate, the sensor body is attached by a pair of screws hinged, which allows you to set them at the necessary angle, about it below. Actually, it is not quite correct to call the sensors here sensors. They are fully complete blocks of 2 independent channels, right and left sides, which contain both the sensor itself, radar receiving and transmitting part, and its signal processing circuitry. In other words, there is no central unit, as in a parktronic, that receives signals from sensors and visualizes them for the driver into something understandable. Everything is inside each of these two blocks, to which are connected only LEDs of the presence of interference in the blind spot on the corresponding side, and a speaker-squeaker for sound notification. And it must be said that these units are assembled at an extremely high level. Working with signals at such high frequencies, 24 GHz, requires the highest culture of electronic production, and, unlike the same Parktronic devices, which Chinese children easily assemble for export at labor lessons, here assembly on the knees will not work. I suppose that they are made by the same factories that make standard DMZ systems by order of leading automakers for their assembly lines. The radar units are connected to tablets indicators with characteristic pictograms of approaching cars. Each unit has its own tablet. Speaker, common for both channels. The same as in any Parktronics, from the cheapest to the most sophisticated. For studying we have mounted the system on a minivan. Mazda 5. What conclusions can be drawn from the installation of the gadget and its operation? Installation in principle is very simple and is available to most ordinary motorists who are capable of at least elementary repair of their own car on the electrical part. As a matter of fact, the DMZ system is connected to the car electrical system in the simplest variant in only 3 points, to their ignition switch, power supply, as well as to the right and left turn signal lamps, for more active notification in the presence of interference in the blind spot. The only problem is the need to remove the rear bumper. In most cases, this is an unavoidable procedure, as the sensors are designed for mounting on the body under the bumper cover. After fixing the sensors on the body, it is necessary to set their position on the hinge in the horizontal plane, so that their beam covered the desired sector, the very blind spot. For this purpose, a 20-degree cardboard template angle is included in the kit. After setting the angle, the sensor joints are fixed by tightening the screws. The algorithm of operation is exactly the same as in most cars with the DMZ system installed on the assembly line. No separate activation of the DMZ is required. It is activated simultaneously with the ignition. If an obstruction is detected in the blind spot during normal straight-line driving, the indicator light on the corresponding side of the vehicle illuminates steadily. If the interference is detected when you turn on the turn signal, you start the maneuver of realignment, the indicators are turned on in flashing mode to attract your attention, as well as the sound signal beep. The peculiarity of working on the principle of Doppler effect, radar effect, makes DMZ a very stable system, not afraid of dirt on the car body or any other external factors. Alerts are issued when there is a real interference moving with you in the opposite direction and approaching from behind. The detection distance is about 10 meters. The guaranteed speed at which the system works is 120 km per hour, but we have not noticed any failures at higher speeds. It is important that the electronics of Chinese DMZs have, like the original ones, a delay in indication, that is, if a car approaching from behind slows down and your speeds equalize for a short time, due to which the signal from the sensor is interrupted, the indication will not stop. There are practically no false positives. A couple of times only were noted when driving along a metal lattice fence close to the road. So, unlike the sea of various Chinese tuning crap, the essence of which is only vulgar kolhors and thrown away money, non-standard. Universal DMZ systems should be recognized as a really useful element of active safety of the car, and even at a fairly reasonable price. In conclusion, installing a blind spot monitoring sensor on your own can be a rewarding yet challenging project. While it may require some technical skills and patience, the benefits of enhanced safety and awareness on the road can certainly outweigh the difficulties. If you're willing to invest the time and effort, this DIY approach not only saves money but also gives you a deeper understanding of your vehicle systems. Ultimately, whether it makes sense for you depends on your comfort level with automotive projects and your commitment to improving your driving experience. Thank you for watching, and drive safely.